everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of the SoCal Prep Report. I'm Rich Estrella, along with Bob Gibson. And Bob, you excited about today?
I'm always excited. It's another show. It's another week of football.
Just making sure.
Ready to go.
You know, Bob, we can't walk around. We can't walk into the living rooms nowadays. You know, they're going to follow us. These guys weren't even ready.
Man, I'm just throwing the director.
Anyway, hey, I'd like to thank you for joining us. Week 8 just concluded. Playoff races are starting to heat up. Also, Bob, there's league races. We're going to have a lot of stuff coming up. Of course, this is rivalry week. The next 2 weeks will be nothing but crosstown rivals going at it, stablemates. So these games are always pretty good. It doesn't really matter what the records are, and that's what's so good about rivalry week because it doesn't matter.
No, you're absolutely right. You throw the records out the window. You see all the cliches, and everybody wants to play for pride. It's neighborhood pride, and that's what's
right
on the line.
All right, let's take a look at the scoreboard right now and have a look at what's going on. We picked these scores at random, none in particular. So let's have a look and take a look at our first score. Edison, Los Alamitos. This is a Sunset League battle. Los Al, you know, I guess they're going to be taking over Edison's spot now that Dave White's gone. Edison did great this season, but Los Al's in the driver's seat right now for that Sunset League title with that big victory over Edison.
Well, it's all over. Los Al's going to win that Sunset League title, and it's been a while since
They got to play Fountain Valley at the end.
Doesn't matter.
Come on now.
Los Al's in the driver's seat here.
Right.
They're going to go ahead and take care of Fountain Valley and claim that title. Been a while since Los Alamitos was the team to beat in the Sunset. Now they are back in the driver's seat. Kind of nostalgic to see Los Al, get up there and take a league title.
They got a new head coach, Ray Fenton. Now, Ray Fenton came from Las Vegas and has done a great job here while he's been in Los Angeles, been in a few teams. But right now, he's head of Los Alamitos. Prior to Los Alamitos, he was at Fountain Valley. So they're going to end up playing each other at the end of the season. Again, that's rivalry week, and that's going to be a big one because the winner of that one's going to win league, Bob, or at least have a piece of it.
Los Al's going to win that. So I'm on record. Los Al's going to go ahead and take care of it right now.
All right, Bob.
It's
From
done.
your lips to
done.
The sports gods' ears, that's what's going to happen this week. All right, continue on the scoreboard. Take a look at some other scores. I believe we are going into the Del Rio League. Santa Fe and El Rancho. El Rancho, storied program in Southern California. National champions in the 60s, Bob, believe it or not. I think they had back-to-back titles. Ernie Johnson, of course, taking on Santa Fe High School. Santa Fe in the driver's seat in the Del Rio League right now. I don't know how, but they're there. 30-27 overall Rancho. They're just across the freeway from one another. That one could be crosstown rival, but Santa Fe's crosstown rival is Pioneer.
Doesn't everybody in that great wrestling program play football as well? Isn't that why Santa Fe's so good at everything in the fall?
They're ready to go.
Right.
They're just ready to go.
I mean, that's what it's all about. All those guys double up, and you just have a good football team out there.
Well, it's interesting this year because the Del Rio League for a while now, probably the last 7 or 8 years, has been Lucerna High School. Lucerna's been in quite a few CIF championships, finals. And now Santa Fe encroaching on their territory. We'll see what happens. All right, continue on. We saw a little bit of that Tustin score. Tustin and Valencia. Your boy, Bob, what happened? Man, we were talking about how great your boy was doing over there, and now what happened?
This is what happens if Tustin. So Valencia scored 21 first quarter points.
Is that all?
That Tustin offense, it's not built to come from behind. That's the problem. So it's 21-3 after the first quarter. They're not going to throw the ball. They're going to run the ball. And Valencia held Tustin to just 178 yards rushing in the football game. That is the ingredient. If any team that can do that to a Tustin team is going to win the football game. Plain and simple. You stop that running game like Valencia did, you will win the football game.
It's hard stopping a wing team running game.
I'm
Myron Miller has perfected it.
It's not easy. A few teams have done it, and Valencia was one of them, and able to accomplish it this week. Congratulations to that great Valencia program.
All right, we'll see what happens,
big
Bob.
win.
There's still a lot of football left, man. Valencia may not even win that league.
Very true. Tustin could still. I think Tustin's still in the driver's seat there, but we'll see. We'll see. That's a little chink in the armor right there.
All right, let's continue on more scores. Take a look at one more, I believe we have, and it's Rim of the World in Arroyo Valley. Now, Bob graduated from Rim of the World. That's why we have this score here. I've told you before, you got 2 weeks to get out there and watch this team play. You're going to be watching it in snow, baby.
Is that a 4.5-hour drive up there?
No, not at all, man. You get up there in a good hour, Bob, if you go fast.
Hour. Really? You floored it up
I'll
the
go
mountain,
75 minutes from here. Yeah, I bet you. You want to time it? Want to go on a road trip next week?
We'll do it.
We'll set that timer.
We'll do it. Big
Allison,
10-point
set
win
the
for
timer,
them.
will you? She always do every week.
That's right.
Anyways, Rim of the World won their ball game. Interesting. Big Bear. What is it up about the mountain schools that are kicking everybody's butt right now, Bob?
Something in the air up there.
Air's thin. They're all coming down here and doing it. You can't say it's the thin air, buddy.
It's in the water.
All right, it's in the water. All right, let's continue on. What do we have next, Mr. Director? All right.
Where are we going?
I'm there. Let's go. Let's take a look at the social media right now. Want to get hold of us at the SoCal Prep Report on Facebook. We also have Twitter. We got Twitter, Bob?
Yep, we got Twitter.
All right.
Don't forget YouTube. You can watch replays of the show on YouTube. I believe that's Instagram right
What's
there.
the one?
In
Is
the
that
middle.
Instagram next to Twitter?
Underneath you right there. See underneath you? That's
right here?
Instagram.
Okay. I don't know.
Underneath me right here.
I'm not used to seeing all these icons, man.
Right. See, I'm pointing right there.
All right.
That's the Twitter. And then
Anyways,
let's
just
go
get
this
on
way.
it, find it.
Right
You'll
there's
find
the
us on
Facebook.
something. SoCal Prep Report. You'll find us there. Please like us. Please get on there. And like I said, we're going to build this up. There'll probably be a lot of free gifts and prizes. Bob gives away free cash prizes every week on one of our social media.
We
so
used to give away the cash in Rich's wallet. So
yeah,
that was it.
That was it too. A lot of coins coming out of there.
Hey.
All right, let's take a look now. What are we going? Oh, by the way, we didn't. What happened Modern Day this week? The #1 team in the country, Bob.
The number one, I tell you.
What happened?
Modern Day if everybody wasn't already on notice, they are now. Modern Day completely destroyed Jay Serra.
They did?
Held him to a field goal in the game. And to hold that offense down like that, I mean, that just tells you right now. Modern Day can beat you with their offense, but Modern Day said that's not enough. We'll go ahead and show we can beat a great offense with our defense. So there's no, like I said before, there's absolutely no weakness at all in Modern Day. You want to point at special teams? No, there's no weakness there either.
You talked to Bruce Rollinson.
Zero
that
weaknesses.
team's a wreck right now. #1 team in the country, hasn't been challenged at all, but they're a mess right now. You talk to the head coach, he'll tell you that. Rollinson will tell you that.
He's looking for negatives on the game film
You
as
see Nick
we talk to him.
Saban and Rollins, they've been taking pages out of each other's playbook. All right? They're going to go on the offensive, man.
He said he's looking for negatives, but you got to point out all the positives that are happening on that game film because there's a lot of them.
All right, real quick, let's take a look at the top 10 center section. We won't be able to see it because something happened, but I'm going to tell you right now, Modern Day still at the top of the top 10, followed by Corona Centennial. No surprise there. St. John Bosco. Jay Serra stayed in the 4th spot this week, Bob. Why do you have a soft spot for Jay Serra? They got manhandled by Modern Day.
Yeah, that can't happen. That can't happen because Mission Viejo and San Clemente should have at least Mission Viejo should have jumped Jay Serra with their difficulty in schedule this year.
No.
Mission Viejo should have jumped Jay Serra. Let's make sure.
You
that's
take
on
it
the
up with
record.
Allison. She's the one that does these top 10s. All right. So, anyways, followed by Mission Viejo, San Clemente in the 5 and 6 spot. Long Beach Poly stays at 7. Upland won again. Santa Margarita, Orange. Now, Orange Lutheran is going to lose again this week. They got Modern Day. Right. It's going to kill their season. They're going to be 0-4 in the Trinity League. I don't know if they can go 0 for 5 and make the playoff spot.
Look, there are a lot of scenarios people talked about who was going to end up being that last place team in the Trinity because we know they're all great teams. Orange Lutheran's going to end up being the last place team.
Stand over here, Bob. I'm getting
Trinity.
tired of standing over there. There you go. Thank you. Anyways, as you were saying?
We'll just switch places.
Yeah. So
Orange Lutheran's going to be the team that ends up at the bottom of the Trinity?
It'll be
somebody had to do it.
Somebody had to
do it. It was going to be Servite or Olu, and it ends up getting. I think it's going to be Olu.
But you take the aggregate of the overall records, and everybody's still got a winning record. That leads above 500 leagues.
Still, any one of those teams there would win any other league in Southern California.
Pretty crazy.
Any other league.
Pretty crazy. All right. Well, listen. You actually did get an opportunity to talk with Bruce Rollinson. He does talk to you because you guys are buds. You both went to high school together, junior high together.
Many years ago.
Not very seldom do you have that happen in the football world and the broadcast world where you had best buddies. So what did Rollo have to say? He didn't talk to anybody, but he talks to you.
He'll talk to me because we talked about the fact that this Modern Day team is undefeated. They're rolling right now. I asked him if he could find some negatives. Really, there aren't any to point out, but nonetheless, he says this team is poised to do big things because they are a veteran group.
That means roll it, fellas.
Go to the video. Have you had a chance to think back on this season now, or is it more just living in the moment right now with what's going on?
No, you don't. You go week to week, Bob. I mean, you just, you try to, enjoy the victory on Friday night, but we're right back at work in preparation Saturday morning, and the reflection and that kind of stuff comes after the season. But, and being the head coach, it's always hard because you see the things you need to work on, and you have to try to force yourself to look at all the positives and the things that the kids are doing well and not focus on the negative. But you want to make corrections and keep the thing getting better because, you know, we got some tough games down the road. So, you know, we're not going to worry about what we've done in the past. I say it all the time. You're only as good as your next game.
Right. Do you find the defense feeds off the offense and vice versa, energy-wise within the game?
You know, what I find is they're all tight. And, you know, yes, the offense enjoys the defense's success, and the defense knows at times they got to cover the offense in the same way with the offense, but it's a close-knit group of kids. They just enjoy playing. They enjoy being around each other, and, you know, they have a purpose. You know, they're going to finish business.
Are you able to keep all the outside stuff off these guys? You know, the number one national ranking, all of that, you know, talk and all of that. Are they aware of it? Is it good for them to be aware of it, or do you keep it off of them?
Well, you can't keep it off because of social media. I mean, they live on their phones. They live on all of the different sites that are available. They know exactly, you know, who's getting what publicity on an hourly basis. So we just don't talk about it. They know, and we know. We focus on the task at hand. All of our focus right now is on Orange Lutheran. You know, and what I've adopted in probably the last month, 5 weeks, 6 weeks is, okay, you have a championship caliber football team. You need to approach it like a champion would. That means you're not fueling the fire on social media. Okay, it means that you understand that, yeah, your success has brought acclamation, but all of that goes out the window with one bad performance. And I think they understand, because of their experience, that these are good football teams that can beat each other. I mean, take a look at Santa Margarita, you know, probably, by what I hear, by all rights, had Bosco beat and let it get away in the end. And that's definitely something I'll remind them of, because it's what I talk about. You cannot underestimate anybody, otherwise disaster, and then we're scrambling. We're big on talking about not the rankings, but we're in control of our own destiny right now. We are in control of where we're placed in the bracket for playoffs with the number one seed. And that's, you know, if there's any long-range focus, it's that. Hold yourself accountable to being 10-0, and then see what the playoff gods have in store for you.
So, Bob, the playoff gods. I'd never heard the playoff gods before, and that's something new. And being a parochial school, you would have gods in the sentence there.
Absolutely, right?
So anyway, so basically, what do you think?
Look, they're going to finish the season undefeated. They're going to win a CIF championship. And then the question becomes, can they go and win a state title? And they're going to have to go through Centennial. It's going to go through Centennial. It might go through Bosco one more time.
Too.
Pauly may be involved. There may be a couple other teams. But really, I just don't see anybody on the level of Mater Dei. This is a team on a whole different level from anybody else, not only here in Southern California, but in the nation. I mean, this is a national championship team. And probably if you're able to break it down and look at it in the history books, I think they have a chance to say maybe they were the best football team ever put on a field in Southern California. I don't think that's hyperbole to say that whatsoever. I think they've got a legitimate chance to say this may be the best group ever put together on a football field.
Well, Bob, certainly nobody would accuse you of being the king of hyperbole, all right? Just every week.
Not me.
But no, this is one of the best teams, high school football teams I've seen in a long time, especially in Southern California. No weaknesses anywhere. They've taken on 2 top 10 teams in the country and beat them both handily. What more do you want me to say?
Nothing, because it's offense, it's defense, it's special teams. They know they're special. They know they've got a chance to do something big. And this is a team loaded with leaders. That's the thing. This is a team that has leaders all across the board, and they hold each other accountable. No one's going to slip here. No one's going to slip up and overlook anybody else. Not going to happen.
Well, you wouldn't think so. And you think, you know, the last time
Really?
they've even won a CIF champ. Is that Rollinson calling you, man?
No, that wasn't wrong that time.
Anyways, you know, they've won, 3 CIF championships in the 90s. Mater Dei hasn't had a sniff since.
Right.
So it's about time. It's about time. I don't think Coach Rollinson thought it would go this long, the drought.
You're absolutely right.
Because they were just coming, and they kept rolling. and then it stopped. But
It got tougher. The bar got raised. So many teams raised their bar to get up there with modern A.
Right.
It happened. When that happens, look at Bosco. Look what Bosco's done, what Jason Nager's done over there.
Right.
These teams had to raise the bar to get to that level, and they've done it. So modern A kind of a victim of their own success, over these years.
All right. Let's move on to the city section now and get with our weekly segment with Randy Rosenbloom.
In city section football and in the Marine League, it's still the Narbonne Gauchos. They go to San Pedro and knock off the Pirates 57-7. Quarterback Jalen Chapman throws 4 touchdowns, accumulates 360 yards in the air. His favorite receiver on this night was J.J. Tucker, 4 catches, 126 yards and 2 touchdowns, including an 82-yard TD on the first play from scrimmage. Narbonne appears again to be the best team in the LA City section. A shocker in the West Valley. Birmingham goes to ECR and falls to the Conquistadors. El Camino Real wins the game 24-21. Jeff Falgian's team with Darian Green at running back is better than most people expected. What makes this so improbable is the fact that El Camino lost their first 5 games, but once they got into the West Valley League, they have been dominant. They've won 3 in a row and a big win over Birmingham. Probably 2 years in a row, the Conquistadors will be the West Valley League champions. Last year, they went all the way to the semis and lost to Narbonne in the playoffs. Another big win certainly is Crenshaw in the Coliseum League. They hammer View Park 47-0. Really, the note here is the fact that the Cougars are the second best team in the city. They're going to win the Coliseum League, and they're on a collision path with Narbonne coming up in the LA City Open Division. Should be a very good playoffs this year. Crenshaw appears to be the only real threat to the Gauchos of Narbonne. This is going to be a fun week. It's East LA Classic Week, the 83rd edition of the Classic, where Garfield and Roosevelt on double homecoming will get together at Weingart Stadium. The last 7 years, Garfield has won this game, and the Bulldogs figure to be the favorite again. Although Garfield has struggled and has been a little bit more vulnerable in the league this year in the Eastern Conference. Roosevelt's got a chance, but Garfield will be the favorites, and they still have the atom bomb at quarterback, Henry Polanco, who has been fabulous the last 2 East LA Classics. Big wins for the Bulldogs. Another big game this week is the Rosenheimer Bowl in the East Valley League. Poly and their outstanding running back, Rolando Reyes, in this rivalry game. They're going to try to showcase him against the Huskies and their relentless running back, Nick Elkins. The Huskies still run that wing T offense for Coach Carlos Trujillo. North Hollywood's the favorite here, but Poly certainly has a chance, especially in a game that is this kind of rivalry. There's a big game as well in the Metro League. This should be a lot of fun. Jordan at Locke. Jordan has certainly improved. The Bulldogs are 4-2, 3-0 in the league. As for Locke, the Saints with a terrific defensive line. They were 1-9 last year. How about this turnaround? 6-2, 3-0 this year. Dante Sharp on that defensive front is great, as is Jaquez Harvey. Locke the favorite, but certainly Jordan has a chance. One other game we really want to talk about is Venice going to Palisades. Should be a terrific game there. Dion Moore, the quarterback, has really played brilliant football for the Gondoliers. I know it's too early to really project what's going to happen in high school basketball this year, but there were 2 basketball scores I want to tell you about. One, Fairfax 66, Pasadena 63. The Lions are for real this year. Jamal Hartwell is a terrific shooter. He scored 20 points in this game. He can knock it down from three-point land. And the other one is Kirk Smith, their center. He is outstanding. He scored 16 points. He's a wonderful shot blocker. And Taft 69, Dominguez 66, Antoine January, their big center, scored 19 points. He's 6'10", and he is terrific in his junior year. Well, Bob and Rich, that's the story from the city section. Basketball, football, volleyball, we got it all going on, headed to the playoffs. We'll talk to you again next week from the city side.
Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it. Randy Rosenbloom taking care of the city section. And, you know, I like the fact that Randy previewed the Garfield-Roosevelt game because not only in the city section, but in the nation, no game gets a bigger attendance and garners more attention than Garfield-Roosevelt.
It's the East LA Classic. I mean, don't call it a classic for nothing, right?
Yeah.
And you're right. I've had the privilege of calling that game before, and just what a great time it is. It doesn't matter what the records are.
Right.
Everybody shows up from the East LA side, from the Boyle Heights side.
Absolutely.
Everybody in the neighborhoods are out there because everybody is either a Roosevelt grad or a Garfield grad, and they love to come out and make sure they cheer on their kids.
It will take some high schools 10 years to play in front of an audience, and this is combined, to play in front of an audience that Garfield and Roosevelt play in one night.
That's no joke.
They sell out Weingart Stadium, East LA College, in Monterey Park, by the way. They'll sell out 24,000 seats. It's homecoming for both schools. There's absolutely no trouble at those games, Bob. You get 25,000, and you got these are heated rivals, but there's absolutely no trouble at these games.
And if you've never been out there, do yourself a favor, get out there. Just go be part of this game. Go be part of how much fun it is.
Absolutely.
Everything that goes on out there, all the food and the festivities, it's so much fun.
There's so much food out there, man. Going and coming and going, doesn't matter. It's just a great atmosphere. If you've never seen a Garfield Roosevelt game, you got to do it before you die.
And the tailgating
All
starts
right? That's your
2:30 in
bucket
the
list.
afternoon. Everybody's out there early tailgating
Yeah,
too.
it's a night
So
game,
much
but
fun.
yeah, everybody's out there
So
early.
much
It's
fun.
homecoming for both schools.
Yeah.
All right, Carlos Peña, hanging out in the high desert, wrapped up like a mummy. I don't know what's going on. It's 180 degrees, and this guy's wrapped up
Right.
like a mummy.
But it's still
high
cold up
desert,
there.
yeah, high
High
desert.
desert.
Let's go to Carlos Peña.
Hello, folks, and welcome to this week's SoCal Prep Report. I'm Carlos Peña, and I'm bringing you football from the high desert. Tonight,
We have Riverside Prep facing off Excelsior. Rich Bob, I hope you're warm in there. Let's take it to the action now. Opening first quarter action. Excelsior Eagles strike first with his quarterback run by number 7, Larry Oliver. On the very next play, number 24, Jacob Jukabek would break through for the score. Eagles will make their two-point conversion, making the score 8-0. Second quarter action, and with 3 minutes left, Dominic Woods hands the ball to number 23 for the touchdown. 8-7 Eagles. Eagles come right back with less than 2 minutes left in the half with this breakaway play by Eagle quarterback Larry Oliver. Third quarter was all Eagles defense, led by number 8, Jacob Jebhard, as he plugged the middle to stop Riverside Prep Dominic Woods. After a penalty, Riverside Prep had another chance to score, taken to the air on this missed pass. With less than 5 minutes left in the quarter, Riverside Prep felt the pressure as quarterback Dominic Woods desperately tried to get into the end zone, coming up short. 9 minutes left in the game, and Riverside Prep found the end zone. 16-14 Eagles. 4 minutes left in the quarter, and Eagles' Larry Oliver swings out wide. Riverside Prep defense desperately tries to chase him down. 22-14 Eagles. Final seconds of the game, and Riverside Prep is within scoring distance. Quarterback Dominic Woods takes to the air, only to be intercepted by Eagles' Joseph Zamora. Eagles will hold on to the ball for the remainder of the game, beating Riverside Prep 22-14. Now let's take a look at some of the scores from around the desert. Big Bear 55 over Silver Valley 21. Sultana over Hesperia, Apple Valley over Serrano, and Burroughs 20, Oak Hill 17. Barstow 60 Big Time over Granite Hills 20, and Silverado over Victor Valley. Update to the High Desert Top 5. Division 10, Apple Valley ranked at 1. Division 8, Silverado's at 2. And Division 12, Big Bear in 3. Now let's take a look at some of the High Desert players. Overall Southern Section leaders in passing, Levi Taylor from Silverado with 2,821 passing yards. Rushing, Eteru EJ Ane from Silver Valley with 1,503 rushing yards. He's at number 8 overall. Now he is a 3-star weak side defensive end by nature, ranked at number 43 nationally and number 6 in California, and is on the roster for the 2008 Polynesian Bowl in Hawaii this coming January. Receiving, Latavian Staples from Silverado with 1,173 receiving yards is at number 1. Overall purpose yards, Levi Taylor from Silverado with 3,114 yards at the number 2 spot. Defensively, Seth Baker of Apple Valley comes in at number 6 with 98 tackles. Honorable mentions, we have Maya Morales from Burroughs with 12 PATs. She's 12 of 17 attempts. And Lillian Greenslade of Silver Valley with 23 PATs, 23 of 25 attempts. Big kudos to those two young ladies making history for their school. That completes this week's High Desert Football Edition. Back to you guys in the studio.
Oh, thanks a lot, Carlos. And Bob, I don't know why he's wrapped up, man. It's
He's
been
got
150
that winter
degrees out here.
jacket on, I know.
It's the desert, man.
7,000
The
degrees
desert.
here.
Now, it gets really cold at night, though.
No,
I
it's
gotta
the high
tell you.
desert. It's a whole different. It's like San
You ever
Francisco.
bury anybody out in the desert at night? I'm telling you right now, it's freezing, okay? Not that I would know. All right, let's continue on. Real quick before we get to the national top 10, Bob, stories of interest. The Ray brothers from Franklin High in Tennessee. These guys are well known. One of them's going to Ohio State at the end of the season. Another one's going who knows where in 2020, but they both stepped down. I don't know what this is, but this is definitely not the Ray brothers. But anyways, they stepped down, and they're not going to play because they had said that the coaches are just proliferating a hostile environment. Basically, they're allegedly trying to get them to hide concussions and other injuries, and it's just not, they're not looking out for the kids. When you have two top recruits, one of them's already Ohio State signee just walking off the team, there's issues with that school. And if they don't trust you, if you don't trust the coaches, then don't play.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
And if that's true, that's a bad deal.
It's a
Can't
very
be hiding
bad deal.
concussions. We know all too much about concussions.
Not
now.
concussions, man.
So.
You got a long life after that, trust me, and it ain't easy. Yeah. All right, also, what else we have? Oh, Deion Sanders' kid. Some people know Deion Sanders, some don't. In case you don't know, he's a pretty good football player back in his day. Almost as good as me. I was a two-port star too, you know. But anyways,
in the Hall of Fame.
His son's a freshman, 14 years old. Had his first start this weekend, I guess, or I don't know, but he had 6 touchdown passes. He's a freshman.
Not bad.
6 touchdown passes.
This is Deion's kid.
That's
Of course
Deion's
he threw
kid.
6 touchdowns.
Yeah, he looks like Winston. He's a big, tall kid. You know, he looks like he's about 30, you know. He's out there playing among, 14-year-old playing among boys.
That's the way it works.
Just an outstanding job. Congratulations to him. All right, let's take a look at oh, by the way, he scored 42. He had his hand in 42 of the 46 points scored in their last game.
Sounds like his old man.
He's crazy, man. He's outstanding. I want to see what's happened with this guy in a couple of years. Take a look at the nation's top 10. Oh, we can't, Bob. It's going to be you and me again, but it looks pretty much like the Southern section.
Same deal.
Top 10. You got Mater Dei at the top, #1 team in the country. Defeated J. Sarah, who was ranked 17th last week, followed by IMG Academy in Florida. They're going to stay there. One and two is going to be stuck.
This isn't moving at the top.
Unless Corona Centennial somehow sneaks in and beats Mater Dei, which could happen. You never know. Stranger things have happened, Bob. Not many.
Then they would deserve to be #1.
Corona Centennial
I wouldn't stand for anything else than them jumping into #1.
They're in the 3rd position. American Heritage in Florida in 4th. St. John Bosco holding tight at 5. Bosco had to struggle this week to win.
Yes,
What's
they
up with
did.
that?
Bosco could have lost that game
What
very
happened?
easily.
You're a Trinity League dude. What happened in that league?
Very easily. This is the Trinity.
All right,
This
I
is what
got
you
you.
expect. This is
All
the way
right.
the Trinity should have been this year, with everybody very close to each other. But Mater Dei's just made a mockery of it.
All right, then we followed by Allen, Texas, Bishop Gorman. Also worked their way back up to the top 10 at #7. Bingham, Utah, #8. St. Francis Academy, Baltimore, Maryland, #9. And the #10 spot, St. Louis of Hawaii.
Like that.
Those guys are good out there, man.
They're
St.
very
Louis
good.
plays ball. Wherever they go, they win. They haven't lost a game in like 40 years. So they're pretty good.
There's some good programs in Hawaii.
They
really
deserve
are.
to be in the top 10. All right, take a look real quick at the preview. We have preview graphics or no? All right, then I'll preview it myself. Got Jefferson at Santee coming up. Okay, we'll Sierra Canyon first. Sierra Canyon, Brentwood. Bob, as you can see, Sierra Canyon 7-1, Brentwood 7-0-1. I can't believe these guys are stablemates.
Look, Brentwood has dominated 5 consecutive opponents after that tie a couple weeks into the season.
Yeah.
And they've mixed in 3 shutouts as well. So it's
Not
the
bad.
defense. Over on Sierra Canyon side,
Not
they
bad.
lost their opener 25-7. But that big win over Calabasas a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
that 26-14 win, and their defense
That's
is
an
really,
all-star team.
Their defense has set the tone as well. So we expect this to be a big defensive shootout here between two teams. When you say defensive shootout, I know it's a little bit of contradiction
Bob,
in terms.
Who are you looking for? Who are you expected to jump out and pop you over the
I
head?
was looking behind because they
Oh,
always
is that
say,
what that
look,
is?
they always
All
say
right.
look at the screen behind
You looked a little worried to me.
So I'm following instructions.
All right, let's go down to Jefferson Santee. Ought to be another good ball game there. Well, I guess the graphics gone, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be pretty good. And also, our last one to look at is Downey Warren. Now, when you talk about crosstown rivals and 2 teams in the same league that really want to go after each other, this is the game. These guys used to have to play their games at Cerritos College, Bob, where there's 13,000 seats, and they would have 4,000 people waiting to get in after those 13,000 seats were all sold. Both teams have brand new big stadiums, so Warren, I'm sure, will be hosting this game at their place. Warren, of course, is coached by the former Long Beach Poly coach, your boy Raul Lara.
Right.
Excuse me there.
Lara over there.
And Lara, of course, has won like 6 CIF championships. He's brought Warren from down here.
Right.
He's brought them up quite a bit, Bob.
He'd bring any program up from
Yeah.
Wherever he's at. He's just a great head coach.
He knows what he's
football
doing.
left. He knows football inside and out, left and right. You're
6
exactly right. He
CIF
knows what he's doing.
champions.
That speaks for
Championships,
itself.
man. I mean,
that
that's
speaks
enough
for
right there. Come on.
itself.
I mean, how many you got, Bob?
8.
There you go. You're almost there.
Working on number 9.
All right, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this week. Don't forget to check us out on our social media. I'm going to pop that up, social media across the bottom. I still don't know what the one next to the red is. What is that, Bob? You say that's
Instagram.
Is that Instagram? All right, it's Instagram. All
Larry's
right.
going to put some pictures
I'll
up
have
there
to get
for
me an
everybody.
Instagram someday.
There you go.
Check it out and see what's
Take a
happening.
look.
All right, on behalf of Bob Gibson, I'm Rich Estrella saying so long from your friends here at the SoCal Prep Report. We'll see y'all next week.